You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Anything else happening in the news today? Oh, yeah.
All right, you don't have to stall anymore.
Okay, are we good?
We're good. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I was about to go into Alabama, but you stopped me.
What's going on in Alabama? Are they okay?
Yeah, they're going to vote on something or another. I don't know. It's a big thing that, as we talked about yesterday.
Are they going to vote on something else besides one person? Or two people,
Nothing of consequence. That's the only one that's going to hit the headlines. And as I pointed out yesterday, whoever wins, so I used the word wrong, that side will be over ecstatic about it. And whoever doesn't get it, the other side will be over annoyed about it. And it'll last for about a week and a half. And then
what's the average lifespan of a reporter that covers politics?
Well,
I just can't imagine.
A lot of it depends. Here's the thing. I would believe, I have to look at the numbers, I believe that under the previous administration, since there wasn't that much of an adversarial relationship with the administration, I'm not saying it was a mutual stroke society, but, there was stronger relationships were forged, I think, in the previous administration, which means that they would be there longer. You had Helen, what's her name? Washington Post. She was like 90 years old when she finally retired. She's a stalwart.
Helen Thomas?
Yeah, Helen Thomas. You're
welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate your nimble Google typing fingers there. I think a lot more solid relationships were built in the previous administration than with the current one. And that's a good question. They probably last longer than
I just imagine myself going like, I've been in Alabama for like, how long do you think the first reporter landed in Alabama?
You're talking about, I thought you were talking about White House press corps.
No, I'm talking about the lowlifes.
Oh, you're talking like the local. Oh, that's the Metro reporter. Because here's
the
thing.
I bet you someone like from Newsweek or some national syndicated whatever sent a reporter there either at the beginning of this race or halfway. There had to have been like a date where it's like, hey, we want you to stay down in Alabama and cover this until it's over.
Everybody's down there today.
Today, but I meant like how long do you think?
By Friday? Oh, by Friday they're all gone.
Well, I know that. I'm saying before that. How long do you think what's the longest time a person's been there?
Bob, the local reporter, beat reporter forever. The national media probably a couple of days. Because
really?
It takes.
I feel like someone would be down there doing like the real investigation of this.
No, they'll leave it to the local shop. Let's say CBS News is covering nationally. They'll get their local CBS affiliate to say, okay, time for the big pants, because to send down a network team.
Do you think they have conflicts like they do in the police shows where the FBI shows up and it's like, this is my jurisdiction now, and they're like, no, this is my investigation. You think the journalists do that?
Yeah, it's the badge.
I'm
Washington Post. Well, I'm New York Times. Yeah, well, I'm the Times-Picayune.
Yeah.
And there is a pecking order, and it is what it is. So I'm interested to see. Today's going to turn out very happy for some people, very unhappy for others.
That's usually how the day turns out for people.
Then life in the Senate will just go on. In my humble opinion.
So?
Yeah, IMHO.
Okay, cool. Well, I really don't. It's funny because Alabama is actually really pretty, but I just don't know. I don't know anyone from Alabama, so I don't know if this is going to affect anybody I know.
My father's side of the family came apparently from Alabama. See, I can't trace it back beyond my paternal grandfather.
You mean they're like Native Americans or what?
No, I just mean apparently my great grandfather was like heavy in the Alabama mob, and so they set up shop.
That's even cooler.
Set up shop in Texas. Yeah, there's a story where my grandmother actually had to hide my father in the trunk of a cop car to cross state lines. That's why I don't.
We don't talk
too
about
far
it?
Back on Ancestry.com. I only stick on the mother's side.
I wonder. That's one thing I loved about those shows that show like your history, and I'm always waiting for that one, the unveil. Oh, by the way, you're part of Genghis Khan, who raped and pillaged all these people.
Well, do you have any I am a direct descendant of Billy the Kid, for instance. I'm sorry, I mean Pat Garrett, who shot Billy the Kid. So I come from the Garretts.
I feel like you're reaching for stuff when you say stuff like that.
Hey, Pat Garrett killed Billy the Kid. He shot him. They were friends, and he killed him.
Sounds like a butthole shooting his friend.
Oh, it was the Old West. Everyone shot everyone.
Gun
control.
All right, it's 9:30. We have to talk to our guest now.
Is it 9:30? Oh, I thought we were going to do it after the music. We're going to do it now?
We're going to do it now.
Awesome.
He's ready.
We're
look at
warming him up. Yeah, he hasn't bolted for the door yet, so I think we're good. We are talking to Mr. Stephen David. He's the Democratic candidate, the only Democratic candidate for the 8th Congressional District. That's the congressional seat currently held by Kevin Brady. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you.
Good to have you in the studio.
It's good to be here.
Thanks for not running off yet.
ElectStephenDavid.com.
ElectStephenDavid.com is the website if you want to kind of talk along with us. And if you have any questions of Stephen, platform, anything like that, go on and call our line, 936-367-647-3776. Let me do that again. 936-647-3776.
Don't even bother calling in now.
Yeah, right.
Just go to the website, IRLoneStar.com. Go to contact us. It's there. Get over it.
Or text Dick at his personal cell.
Yeah, let's do 911. Please call
Area
that
code
number.
911-423-8625. And so anyway, Stephen, so tell us about what prompted you to run and a little bit about yourself here.
Well, before I say that, I want to say two things. Number one, I really appreciate these coasters, which are Star Wars, by the way.
He's cool.
I get a lot of props for that.
Yeah, you should, because they're amazing. And then number two, Conroe Coffee is legit.
I know. That's why there are sponsors. Do you
around.
think we have sponsors that aren't
saying,
legit?
Like sometimes coffee is coffee, not Conroe Coffee. So
No.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So before you get into it, I got a question. We got to answer this on the air. I got my card. My voter registration card, and I get really nervous when I get official documents like this because I feel like I don't handle them properly.
Yeah.
It says return service requested. So I have to fill this out or not?
So you need to sign it.
I need to sign it. First things first, I sign it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's signing a lot. Here, get it on the camera. Dick, get it on the camera.
Oh, okay.
Dick,
I'm signing.
ladies and gentlemen, Dick is signing his voter registration card.
Oh, man, this feels so great.
It should. This is democracy in action
right here. People have bad days, and some people have good days. This is one of those good days.
It's Merca.
That's right.
All right, cool. Signed it. So I send it back in?
No.
Put it, fold it up and put it in your wallet.
That's right.
Then why would it say return service requested on it?
Because if you weren't the person living there, if it was sent to your home address and it was Stephen David living there instead of you, then you would send it. I would send it back because it's not for me.
But they don't say that on here.
Yeah, well, Also, it could
They
be
don't
like
have so much ink they can use.
You need to read the fine print on the back because it could be like a social security card where you can't laminate it. But laminating it would be pretty cool.
Well, no, that's another thing. I don't know if you have any restriction or whatever, changing this up, but how do I make it small enough to fit in my wallet? Why don't they do that already?
That's called folding.
But why don't they go ahead and make it like that?
Because your signature wouldn't fit. What the hell is going on, man?
Well, we have neighbors, dude.
What are they doing? They're banging on. Are we too loud for them?
Okay, so I have to fold this and hope it doesn't tear in the wallet. Because you put stuff in wallets, it falls apart.
Yeah,
when
but you also
fold
know
it.
in the state of Texas, you can go vote with your driver's license.
You don't need this?
With a form of ID. I mean, that's a form of ID.
This or your driver's license.
Right.
As long as your driver's license is active. You haven't let it expire.
Oh, then
but this is
who
cool
cares?
because it has...
why am I wasting my time with this?
Don't throw it away so willy-nilly.
Why do I need it?
Because it's democracy in action. You should treasure that.
And see, but the nice thing about the voter registration card, it's also got your districts here, so you know which representative, which state representative.
It tells you your precinct and all that good stuff.
And
it gives you very relevant information.
Oh, I need to go vote?
Do you want me to take you to... Because I always take my daughter.
kidding.
Every time I vote, I take my daughter with me, and we make sure to hit all the candidates who are there and ask them the tough questions. And it's really cool. Because I also like to see how the candidates treat my daughter. It's not like advance warning on you or anything, Steve. What I'm saying.
That's really creepy. I'm just going to throw that out there.
No.
With today's climate, it's really creepy.
No, sometimes it's like hot outside, and so if a candidate comes up or rep with, hey, is your daughter thirsty? She want a bottle of water? That shows I may disagree with them politically, but it shows that they have a...
So you're using your
mindset.
daughter in like a game of chess?
A political pawn?
Political pawn?
You betcha, man.
All right, fair enough. I'm sorry, Stephen, to interrupt you. I just had you look like a person who would know the answer to that, and I appreciate all the knowledge you shared with me. So I can just throw this away. Long story short.
Nope.
Here, give it to me, and I'll vote for you.
That is 100% false. I did not say that.
Stephen, what when you're not running for office, what do you do?
So I work.
He runs an office.
That's right. Well, kind of. So I work for the city of Houston, and my job is to be effectively a guy that looks for inefficiency in government process, and specifically, I look at the stuff that relates directly to citizens. So if a service is provided to citizens then we go in and we do a performance audit of what they do. And if there are ways to improve the process, save money, or just better deliver a service, then we do it.
Awesome. Are you, you say you work City of Houston, you reside up in this area? Or
Yeah. So I live off of 249 Spring Cypress in the southern part of the district.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. Good area.
It is a good area. I like it. It's got the vintage. We've got Bearded Fox Brewery over there, but I'm not going to lie. Y'all have got 3 breweries in Conroe, right?
Probably more. I mean, there's so many wooded areas. You have no idea what they're cooking in.
beer breweries, Dick. Not
Oh.
But
Well,
listen,
you know what? It's a budding economy in Conroe, so it's
It is. Y'all are the fastest growing
growing
city in the
city. So everyone's got to get their fix.
and with it comes the breweries. So, Stephen, you are the Democratic candidate.
Correct.
Tell me about that, because in Montgomery County, like statistically, historically, armadillos tend to get more votes than Democrats.
And
But there seems to be a shift in the air on
Is
that.
the Democratic office just a front? Because the office on Fraser,
We've never seen.
I've
like,
never seen
anyone.
anybody go in there or out, and it's all tinted. And so I was like, that has to be a front for something. 'Cause
Maybe it's the back entrance. To
is
the
it like a
Batcave.
legal thing that the Democratic each official office has to have a physical office?
No. Not, I mean, so there are some counties in the district. There are quite a few counties inside the 8th Congressional District.
Okay.
And there are a couple of counties that have inactive Democratic parties.
Okay.
So no. I mean, if there's an office, there is an office, and it's not a front. A front for what?
Have you
I
been
don't
to the
know.
office?
Probably
Yes.
AAA.
Okay, so good. I was just curious because every time I drive by it, because it's one of those shopping centers that's been around for a long time, and it's like right now it's going in a slump.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like not a lot of people visit it, and I'm like, I always wonder like if they just are required to have an office just because it's
No.
like.
I'm telling you, remember the old Batman TV series where it was just that wooded area with a little traffic barricade there, and if you went through it, you got to the Batcave.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe we
That would
could
be really
pop in some.
interesting.
Yeah, right. Maybe there's a Shakespeare's head statue there. We can.
Well, okay, we're going to
Okay,
be
let's
moving
talk
on.
politics
Well,
stuff.
we will. We actually have to take a break. We have Stephen David in the studio. Check him out online, electstephendavid.com. He is running for the 8th Congressional Couch. District. Thank
that's
you.
true.
Almost got it.
It's
Well,
couch.
don't worry,
There's a
Dick, we'll
couch.
fix it
There's a
in
couch
post-production.
somewhere involved in it. Right? No?
No, that's acting.
Okay, good. Oh, golly. You're listening to Mornings of Lone Star here at irlonestar.com. We're taking a music break. When we come back, we're going to hit the road hard with Steven.
Yeah, we will get serious. We promise.
Yeah. One thing I like to talk about is all the stupid questions politicians get asked.
Mm-hmm.
And that definitely happens here in Montgomery County.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to be back with more. Steven.
Come a little bit closer, you're my kind of man. So big and so strong. Come a little bit.
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
I'm all alone, and the night is so long.
It is Mornings with Lone Star. We are at 9:50, 10 till 10, or in England we used to say 10 of 10. And we are here with Dick, Skippy, and special guest Stephen David, the Democratic candidate for the 8th Congressional District. He is running for Congress, folks, and he is in our studio. And we're going to be actually asking some like realsies questions today. Enough about the Star Wars
Yeah,
coasters.
the dog collar's off.
That's right, man.
That's right.
We're tough.
We're going to hit it. Welcome back, Mornings with Lone Star. I hope everyone's enjoying this beautiful. I'm telling you, this week's going to be perfect in Montgomery County.
Don't jinx it, man.
Okay. Well, who cares? Bring it on. I don't care if I jinx it.
It's not nice to fool with Mother
I
Nature.
can't control Mother Nature. It does what it wants.
You remember the old margarine? Were you alive when this came out? The margarine commercials about don't mess with Mother Nature.
No.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, me either.
Oh my gosh. I got to learn you people so much. See, we're losing our history.
Well, good thing we have YouTube and we can preserve it.
Yeah. Look
Right.
up. It's not nice to mess with Mother Nature commercial, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyways, back to Steve and David. So, Stephen, we're talking off the air. Really nice gentleman. I'm liking this guy, but tell me,
Oh, come on. He's doing an interview. Of course he's going to be nice.
No, he's been not. Well, no, he complimented
Of
us
course.
on our
I mean,
Star Wars
I told
posters.
you his picture. I mean,
We'll fix the picture.
It's too clean.
We'll
there's
Photoshop.
there's people running after you right now. They're outside probably with little cameras and they're like, all right, let's see what this guy's doing today. Following you all day today.
They're waiting for that like pre-coffee sip, really
Yeah.
ugly photo.
Yeah.
Just like where I'm opening my mouth and I'm trying to pour the coffee in and I just look horrendous.
I want to let people know who are listening right now who aren't driving and they're on a computer. electstephendavid.com. electstephendavid.com.
And Stephen with a V.
Stephen with a V.
Oh, I guess that is important to tell people, isn't it?
I mean, there could be some Stephen David running for, dog catcher in Peoria, and he's about to get a
Wait,
whole
why do
bunch
people
more.
say that? Is that an actual position people can run for?
Yeah, in some states, yeah.
Believe it or not.
I don't believe that. I would choose not to.
Dick,
believe
have I
that.
ever knowingly lied to you
Oh, yeah.
that you've caught me in?
I just assume
Red-handed?
everything you say is a lie. And then that way I'm surprised when it's not.
The problem with assuming is there is no I in
Yeah.
ASSUME. I'm just saying. Can we get back to Stephen? I want to hear about his platform.
Do you have to have a platform?
Yeah.
Can't you just change it up a little bit and just say, I just don't want people to...
Well, okay, just really quickly. So last year when we had the this judicial race with three candidates, two gentlemen, one in a wheelchair, one not, and then a lady, and the two men, the lady came up with a slogan that basically said, woman, not man. I don't want to say the actual slogan because her name was part of it. Well, I'll just say it was Bim, not him. And so it inspired the other two guys to kind of gang up on her. So they were like, at the candidate forums, we don't care which one of us you vote for, just vote for one of us.
Oh, man.
So that was kind of funny.
That's the nuclear option.
Yeah, that was pretty. But moving on to this election cycle.
Platform. Well, you can read about his platform on his website. Let's talk about Star Wars.
Let's talk about this Thursday. I've got
I
tickets.
know. Isn't that crazy?
7:30.
He's got tickets, too.
I got the D-Box tickets for next Wednesday. My
So
daughter gets
excited.
out of school. We're hitting those D-Box seats.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right.
So,
That's cool. Okay, so how would let's equate the fall of the old republic to the rise of Conroe. See what I'm doing this here? Is Conroe Coruscant? Is that an analogy there? So the current holder of the 8th congressional seat is Kevin Brady, who's now currently chairman of Ways and Means Committee. And Ways and Means, for those of you who don't know, and a lot of people don't, and it's okay, pretty much tax stuff.
Yeah.
Healthcare, right?
And he ran on a huge tax reform bill. Now, that's not what all congressmen do. That was his pet thing. Now, the tax reform bill that's out there right now isn't really the same as what was initially posted.
you know what I'm impressed by is
What?
the Ways and Means has its own website, like official government website.
Oh, they have their, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
So
serious
do you,
stuff. Yeah.
do you think they give him like a different badge and everything? That role, that position,
Like
like a different
getting a door
letterhead.
badge? Oh. Well, I'm sure it's like Kevin Brady, congressman, 8th congressional district, and chairman of Ways and Means, or from the desk of the chairman of Ways and Means, something like that. I'll ask. I'll call and ask.
These are vital questions.
These
that
are.
need to
I
know.
told you, Stephen. We hit the hard-hitting questions. What's on the letterhead? Will you be embossed
that's where
or engraved?
that's where our
Should you-
taxes are going for a different website. Someone paid
It's
somebody to do that.
GoDaddy.
Someone,
$9.99
it
a
looked
month.
nice.
It's I'm sure it's WordPress or Wix.com and GoDaddy. $15 a month.
They're probably paying some intern.
Well,
Probably
yeah,
not paying an
Yeah, I was about
intern.
to say you got that one
Those
right.
punks.
So with the current Congress holder with a tax platform, is that your platform, or is your thought to enhance on that, or do you have a different platform altogether? Or?
So I kind of decided to run earlier this year, and the reason why I decided to run was actually healthcare.
Okay.
So I think that this, I kind of reject the notion, and this is going to be me being political, of calling it tax reform. I actually do think it's kind of like a tax scam. But we can talk about that in a second. The reason why I decided to run was on top of being chair of Ways and Means, Kevin Brady is also a whip in the Republican Party. I mean, he's the guy that goes to other congressmen and says, I really need you to vote this way. And they put forward the health care bill. It's the American Health Care Act. And my wife and I, Jenny, 3.5, 4 years ago, fostered a little girl. She was born 3 months premature, and she was born 3 months premature because her mom was taking ecstasy while she was pregnant. Right. And so when she was born with some GI issues. She also had a skin issue that we went to a dermatologist for, and then she went to her normal pediatrician. And all of those things, because we were fostering through the state of Texas, all of those things were covered. Basically, they paid for all of our doctor's exams. They paid for the daycare that we used. And what it did was it helps encourage. The idea is that we have a lot of kids who need to, who are in the foster system, and we need people, whether young or old, it doesn't matter. We need people to step up and help because it's better for the child. And that program that funded everything that we were able to afford was funneled through the state of Texas and funded by the federal government. And the healthcare bill drastically reduced that program, effectively disincentivizing people fostering. And that was one of the things that really got under my skin about this bill. And the question that I kind of asked myself, the conversation that I had with my wife, was, like, how can you go to someone and convince them to vote for something like this? I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall conversations that Kevin was having with other congressmen saying, hey, this is a bill that you need to vote for, and here's why. We're going to cut Medicaid funding for fostering, right? Or for the CHIP we're not going to renew the CHIP program later on. Things like that. So it got me really upset. On top of that, there were a couple of things that they did where it lifted, and this, again, right, this passed the House. It didn't pass the Senate, so it's not law now, but it doesn't mean that they're not trying to do it. The Senate is attempting to do effectively the same thing through the tax reform bill that the Senate released. But
at least we know they're working.
Yeah, right. We're working at something. And with the bill that passed the House, one of the other things that they did was that they lifted the premium cap for people who make less than a certain amount of money and are within a certain age range. So effectively, someone who right now, with the current law in place, the Affordable Care Act, someone who's 64 years old and makes less than like $35,000 a year is capped in their premium at roughly $1,700 a year. Right, so someone who doesn't make a whole lot of money, who is getting to the point of where they're going to potentially be retired, their premium for healthcare is $1,700. This healthcare bill would have lifted that cap to $16,400. Right, a precipitous increase. And the biggest issue that we find with stuff like that, so when we do studies, and this is going to be me being a little bit wonky, we do impact analysis studies at my job all the time. And one of the things that we've worked on is you identify how much money is a reasonable amount of money for someone to pay for housing. And if it costs more than roughly a third of your income, then you technically qualify. If a third of your income doesn't cover rent, then you start to qualify for affordable housing and government assistance for housing. That healthcare, that raising of the cap is over 50% of someone's income making less than $35,000 a year. Right. So it just blew me away that someone could just say, oh, yeah, half your income can go to your healthcare premium. Right. Just the premium. It doesn't, not everything's going to be covered. They're going to have to pay for prescriptions. Prescriptions aren't always covered and stuff like that. And I thought that was just a really craven attack on just general people who don't have a whole lot of money to begin with.
Very interesting. So Stephen's platform is more healthcare driven. And first off, kudos to you for fostering. Just takes a special kind of person. I don't care what side of the aisle you sit on for that. That's humane. That's awesome. Kind of going on with that because there's only so much money to go around. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. And so every time someone says, "Well, there's free this or free that," obviously someone
someone pays for it.
There's a thing for it. And my question: people always talk about healthcare, but it's healthcare insurance. Am I on the right track with that? That when people are saying, "Well, my healthcare premium," that's healthcare insurance premium. It's like a car insurance premium, and that's because healthcare itself is so high.
That's right.
Are we possibly attacking the wrong or fighting the wrong battle to go after the insurance companies and not the healthcare industry itself, or are they joined at the hip too much?
So, well, they're joined at the hip for sure, and I think that's actually a really interesting question. I mean, yeah, you're right. We're talking about insurance. In regards to healthcare reform. But I think that the thing that we have to realize is that it's kind of a catch-22 on it, right? So and this is where I think the Affordable Care Act did it right. A lot of people hate the individual mandate, but the biggest thing that we saw was that people who were young, right, our age, were not getting insurance. They were staying off of insurance. And you might not get sick, but catastrophic injury happens to everybody. And, I don't go to the doctor very often. I don't get sick very often, but a car wreck could happen to me. I mean, that makes perfect sense. And then people who are young tend to have a whole lot less in savings. So they go to the hospital. They get, $200,000 to $400,000 worth of life-saving necessary medical service, and they can't afford it. And so the hospital gets stiffed with the bill, and a hospital still has a bottom line. A hospital still has to make their books right. And so they have to disperse that either through an increase to the consumer, or they have to eat the cost. Well, one of the little known facts about hospitals is most of them are nonprofits. So they can't really eat cost. And so they have to pass it on to the consumer. And so the Affordable Care Act attempted to rectify that by saying you have to have insurance. And it became that kind of where insurance companies, which are in a way the middleman, are paying those hospitals and doing what insurance does. And is it a perfect scenario? No. I do think that there is a middleman between that. But insurance works for car insurance. Insurance works for a whole bunch of industries, right? Home insurance and stuff like that. So I think that you're right. It does go after insurance reform. And should there be a conversation about addressing medical costs? Absolutely. And I don't think that people are trying to have that conversation in Congress. And that's something that does upset me.
Interesting. I like that. A great answer on that. So if I may just, who's Stephen? What does he bring to the table kind of professionally, politically? Let people know about you.
I'm 32. I like long walks on the beach. I really enjoy it.
Do you like pina coladas?
I love pina coladas.
Getting caught in the rain.
So I'm a native Houstonian. I'm a seventh generation Texan. My whole family lives here. Everyone that's alive generally lives in Texas. The claim to fame of my family is that my grandmother's dad brought the first carbonation to the city of Houston. So he carbonated drinks, and he was also the first ice manufacturer in Houston, which is pretty cool.
Whoa, that's like statue level right there.
I know, right? Bringing ice. It's just making those old fashions better. So I grew up, I went to high school at Jersey Village High School, which is off Beltway in 290. Went to Spring Branch Elementary, then Fraser Elementary, which is over by where my parents live now, 290 in Fairbanks. And after high school, went to Arizona State University. Started in politics in 2008. I was bored with my job and wanted to just volunteer, so I went and volunteered. Started the whole volunteering thing. Volunteered until 2009 when I was asked to work on a couple of campaigns. In 2010, I worked for the Harris County Democratic Party. My title was Operations and Logistics Director, which is a really fancy way of saying I helped open all of the campaign offices. There were roughly 15 campaign offices across Harris County.
You realize that acronym is old.
Old, yeah.
Okay, just throwing that out there.
And that was kind of my first, sinking my teeth into politics in a real way. I got out, got to speak to people and kind of hear what their concerns were. In 2011, I was asked to run then City Council member Ed Gonzalez's campaign, who is now Sheriff Gonzalez of Harris County. And so it ran his campaign. The notable thing about that campaign, there are two notable things. One is that he won. Two is that I was spurred by a rooster in his district. It turns out in District H of the city of Houston, there is a violent rooster community. And I was chased down the street and got spurred pretty good by a rooster. So that was a fun thing. And in 2000, and at the end of 2011, I went and actually worked for Councilmember Gonzalez's staff. I did a lot of policy work, particularly around public safety. In 2012, I started working for Mayor Anise Parker. And my job was doing deep dive policy research, so taking a look at public safety in general, looking at fire department and fire suppression methodology and a lot of very boring things, taking a look at police response times and stuff like that. And then in 2014, I started doing economic development for the city of Houston. So I was part of a team of people who helped manage special districts called tax increment reinvestment zones. which is effectively a way to take tax revenues that are above and beyond what the city of Houston says they're willing to collect and then reinvest them in that particular district. People either really love them or they really hate them. They're a pretty controversial thing. And then I also helped negotiate deals for the city of Houston. So anytime a business would, a smaller mid-sized business would say, we'd like to move to the city of Houston or we want to start up, we would help them walk them through the permitting process and do kind of like a startup in a day deal for them. And then we would, after we would do, and then we would also help negotiate incentives, right? So municipalities have the ability to effectively give money back to a developer. And there are lots of different ways to do it. But what the city of Houston does and what the deals that I negotiated do is we allow ad valorem taxation to be discounted. So your property taxes get discounted over a series of 10 years. And the trade-off was that you do public infrastructure improvements. So you're a business, you want to start, you want a nice sidewalk in front, you want good water supply, you want good sewage lines. So you improve those things for the city of Houston, and we discount your taxes on the back end. And negotiated a couple of those deals, wrote a couple of those deals. And then I got moved over to the Mayor's Office of Innovation. And what my job is to go and work with departments to identify fraud, waste, and abuse, as well as just kind of inefficiency, and work with the different employees and the different directors to help improve those processes. And we use something called Lean Six Sigma methodology, which is a performance improvement process management methodology. And so that is my extremely wonky description of what I do.
Wow, I thought I was a nerd. This is awesome. He has this. So in other words, you've got street cred.
I mean, I don't know.
We could have just said street cred.
I mean, I can like name Star Wars characters and stuff. I don't know if that counts as street cred. You know?
Well, how would you apply this experience that you've clearly gained through the years to something like the 8th Congressional, what is it? District.
Couch.
I like the couch idea. I'm just,
I think at the end of the day, or even at the beginning of the day, Congress is expected to be a check and balance on the president who runs the departments of the federal government, right? So during the Obama administration, when we had this colossal failure of the VA, it is Congress's not even responsibility. They're obligated to ask questions and to do things that are meant to improve those processes. That's what I do day in and day out. I improve processes of departments of the city of Houston. And we have seen a severe lack of personal responsibility in Congress for improving those processes that deliver services directly to Americans. And that's one of the things that frustrates me the most is that there's always you have one job. And
oh God, I say that all the time. Right, Titanic Lookout had one job.
If they have one job, it's to do checks and balances. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of fundamental tenet of American democracy. And they're not doing it. And it's a very, very frustrating thing. And it's not just Republicans, it's also Democrats as well in Congress. And that's one of the things that frustrates me.
Awesome. Do we have to go to break? I have one quick question, but
go for it.
Awesome. Kind of like a heartfelt question here. So, this is Montgomery County. Yeah. Stereotypically, I was joking earlier, armadillos tend to get more votes. But there seems to be a shift. The recent Woodlands Township election shows that, for those who don't know, it was a nonpartisan race, but a Democrat is now the director of the Woodlands. So, that's no longer a given. I've seen enough local campaigns where people will run, not thinking they have a chance to win, but they say, I just have something to say, and this is a platform to say it. Do you have something to say, or are you in?
Oh, no, I'm in. Okay. One of the things that I think is really important is to always focus on the fact that you can't have an elected official and not have them challenged regularly. I think that's one of the most important things. I mean, if you wanted me to get real nerdy, Alexis de Tocqueville, whenever he came to America, commented on American democracy and said there's a difference between European democracy and American democracy. And the difference, one of the main differences is that in American democracy, we are all participants because we are borderline cynical that we don't want to lose what we have and we don't want someone else to get more than what we have. We all want to participate because we all want an equal share. And I think that is an important tenet, and that's what I was raised on. And I think that when you don't have people running against incumbents, the incumbents forget that everybody in their district is equally important to them. It's not just Republicans, and I get that we run on ideas, but at the end of the day, you have to look out for all your constituents, and I don't think that Kevin Brady has done that in a long time. And he hasn't had a Democratic opponent since 2012, and he had a Republican opponent in 2016 and almost lost. So I think that it's a really important fundamental tenet of American democracy for us to make sure that people are challenged. And I disagree with his ideas, and I think that there are better ideas out there to put forward.
Awesome. Now, Dick and Skippy, we've been talking about trying to turn our show into like the official Montgomery County Candidates Forum. So maybe we can sucker you into coming back in the studio someday. Maybe even sit down with opponents, have debates.
Of course.
Ice cream. So, we get to set the debate rules, and we've been working on that. You can only call your opponent a poopy head, for instance. As a disparagement. That's it for me, Dick. You got anything on this?
Well, we got to take a break
already.
We got to say thank you to our sponsors and stuff.
Yeah.
But you want to stick around?
Oh, of course.
All right. I'm sorry I haven't been talking. I had like a allergy attack while I was about to speck, and
he was reading the fine print on the back of his voter ID card to figure out.
Can I laminate this or not? You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star, irlonestar.com. We want to say a special thanks to our sponsors, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. CleanSweepOfficeCleaning.com, and of course Conroe Coffee. They make the coffee that Conroe loves to drink. Visit ConroeCoffee.com. We'll be back here on Mornings with Lone Star.
And I heard the guitar player say, "Vamos, Jose's on his way."
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at ConroeCoffee.com.
Yes, I knew I should run, but then I heard her say, "Come a little bit closer."
Welcome back, Mornings Lone Star.
So big and so strong.
Here on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1 worldwide at irlonestar.com. It is 10:15, folks. Hanging out in the studio till 11 o'clock today with Stephen David. If you're just now joining us and you missed the meat of the conversation,
You missed a heck of an interview.
we're on podcast, Mornings with Lone Star, YouTube. We do YouTube, and we do our shows on TV on Channel 12 in Conroe area and Channel 21 in the Houston area. All that kind of stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Done with that. All right, let's get down to the good stuff,
Yeah.
right? What is the good stuff? I have no idea what the good stuff
Oh, I
is.
thought you were going to segue into Star Wars. Real quick, just to carry over from last time, you did mention...
ElectStephenDavid.com.
go to electstephendavid.com.
Ooh, and follow me on Twitter at Steve David.
And that's the
Okay, so
Steve with a V.
with the political stuff, when it comes to social media, this is one thing I love. And okay, we're still going to talk about politics a little bit. One thing I love about
How fortunate we have a politician in the studio.
Well, fortunately, no. Yesterday I was talking about how I love at the turning point in politics in the United States is technology is hitting that peak where basically anything you do is tracked, and if I type in your name and I'm really good at Google searches or Bing searches or whatever search engine you're doing, you can really dig and find stuff that's been happened for a long time. Like, for example, that's why we were talking about the 2016 presidential election. Like, if you typed in Hillary Clinton, you're going to find some interesting things about her. Like, if you're for bipartisan, you don't know what you're doing, you're going to find, if you did, 2 hours of research, you're going to get really crazy results. And unfortunately for Donald Trump, he hasn't been a politician for that long. So when it comes to politics, they don't really have records of what they have records of what he's been doing, but like not in the political sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now with that, with you doing Twitter and things like that, is that something that, being young, 32 years old, you got the, I can't put that on Facebook, it shows me drinking a beer. So like you have that mentality, because I had that mentality when I went to school.
Yeah.
And my school I went to was like, you can't do this even if you're 21. And so it was more.
That's why I love my age. We didn't have that.
I felt like I was running a political campaign, being at school for my conduct. So I was like, I can't do it, can't do it. But with today's political world, do you see yourself having the advantage over the older dudes like a Kevin Brady or somebody who like that, because you kind of understand what the world's doing? Because I felt like, for example, Hillary Clinton didn't really understand how the internet worked with a lot of the decisions she said, and used technology that way. But then, and that's why I think Donald Trump has been such a big surge, like in Twitter stock. Like he basically is the only reason Twitter's still around. I'm convinced of that.
Oh, I'm Team Dick on that one.
I feel like if he quit it and went to something else, I wonder what would happen to Twitter. But
the crickets, that'd be their logo.
I wouldn't mind seeing the stats on his stuff.
Seriously, just look at Twitter. I think is publicly traded. Just look at the stock history.
Well, I meant the stats on his posts or tweets or whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many people looked at him, how many people.
14 million look at everything he does, whether they love him or hate him or indifferent.
Because I don't really use Twitter that much, so I don't know how much tracking you can do on it, and I don't know what their stat system is.
I'm sure the Twitter home office has those stats.
Yeah.
They have to have their algorithms.
They call it Twitter Analytics.
Okay.
Wouldn't they call it Twitterlytics and just
Twitterlytics?
Twitterlytics. See, that's why you need to hire me. I can. That is
Twitterlytics.
That is efficiency right there. Cutting out extra syllables that we just don't need.
Twitterlytics. Yeah,
Twitterlytics.
It rolls off the tongue.
Right? I could have made a fortune off it. I could have trademarked that. Son of a gun.
All right.
So I think to address your question, right, about how I feel.
Did I
about,
have a question though?
You did,
I don't really know if I did.
He picked one out of it. Let him run with it.
Yeah,
go,
right.
Steven, go.
Yeah. So
I think that for me, right, I don't necessarily feel the fear that you had when you were in school, because at the end of the day, I don't really care to lie to people about who I am. Right, I'm me, and I'm gonna run as me, and I'm like curmudgeon-y in the morning, and I brew beer, and I'm proud of the fact that I brew beer. I like it, and so I don't choose to try and hide those things. I think that there are very insensitive things that people can do on social media, and I try and avoid that. But as far as like hiding who I am, I don't think that that's a big thing. And I mean, if we're gonna take a look at someone like Donald Trump, he didn't hide anything on Twitter, right? He puts everything.
Well,
I
think
Twitter.
that's what I meant
And
more
people love
about.
him for
It's not more about hiding. It's more about how you use the technology and how you can either present yourself in a certain way, and then when people meet you, or your actions are different than what you're speaking.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Kind
So
of like in a real world situation, like you have the Facebook friend who's just perpetually, I don't want to say depressed, a bummer.
yeah,
and so every post is, it's another it's a dark day today.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
they do the
stubbed
vague
my
booking.
toe.
Debbie Downer from SNL.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. And so I don't want to call this. There's a friend I have who does this. I don't want to call him to hang out because I know he's going to bring me down. But those who like me, when I post, it's usually fun, funny party time stuff for an old guy.
Well,
and
So I think that I think a little bit of the opposite. So I do think that it gives you an indicator, right? People do put kind of live their life on their sleeve on social media, but I think that the more interesting thing about social media is the kind of keyboard warriors that you get, right? The people who are just vicious,
The faceless.
yeah, just vicious
faceless
on
army.
social media,
Thousand
and then
faces,
and then
yeah.
you get in front of them, and they're just the nicest human beings in the world, right? and I think that one of the things that's funny, right, at least for me, is getting out and talking to people. I've had people who I recognize them from Twitter or Facebook,
Yeah.
and they were just horrendous people, and they're the nicest people in the world when you get in front of them. But also, I've met people who seem generally okay, and they get in front of you, and they're like, "I hear you're the party of baby killers." I'm like, "Okay, man, like, holy cow!"
yeah,
I feel like, I think that would be a lot of fun, but then
Well, that's
again,
the
It's
tightrope.
interesting.
That's the tightrope I walk every day because I'm conservative, fiscally, member of the Grand Old Party. That's what GOP stands for. Did you know that?
Grand Old Party.
The Grand Old Party. So although I did run for president myself, and I tied for third. I'm just saying.
All right.
Yeah.
Were you a write-in?
I wrote myself in, and I got about 24 votes. Skippy for Prez, and that's
Good
with a
for
Z.
you.
Yeah, look it up. I actually had a decent platform going on there. I had
Good
an
for
answer
you.
for everything. But I tied for third, so I'm going to go with that.
So it's actually funny you say that. I have a really funny story. So technically, I've been an elected official before. There are these really small things called municipal utility districts.
Yeah,
And
muds.
so I was a director on them, and they're elected positions, one of the lowest levels of elected
Yeah,
office
you can
have.
vote it in with 3 people, like one house.
So I had an opponent, and he forgot to vote for himself. So I won with 12 votes to 0 votes. I had a landslide victory. I was like 23.
Oh, wow.
It sounds like the guy that runs against the corpse and loses.
Right.
That's been known to happen. Someone gets on the ballot, they die.
You're right.
And,
What's that in West Wing?
Oh, it's been in West Wing. It's been in Night Court. It's been in reality. Well, just last year in another judicial race, there was the sitting judge, and I'll try not to use names, but he was, after his name went on the ballot and he filed and everything, there was a...
He left. He got out.
He
Yeah.
stepped down from the bench as part of a deal because there was accused judicial malfeasance in a letter to jurors, and so he couldn't take his name off the ballot. So part of the deal was, well, if you win the primary or if there's a runoff, you have to step down. He won. There wasn't even a runoff. He won, and he had to step down. So the judge, the person who,
That person looked out or looked in,
well, she
whatever you want to call it.
basically she was asked by the local media, basically, how does it feel you lost to you got the job, but you lost to a guy who wasn't even running for the last month because he couldn't do any, this was a month before, 3 weeks or 4 weeks before the election. He couldn't do any more. He had to take up all the signs and couldn't do any campaigning whatsoever. She still lost to him. And she's
Well, that's one thing I find really interesting. We were talking about this yesterday with was it yesterday, the last day you could put in your name
Monday,
or whatever? And now we were talking about Montgomery County and the voters. And the thing I always found interesting about them is when you see the percentage of who voted and who registered, it's really bad. But that percentage of people who voted, those people really care about what's going on in Montgomery County. Because, I don't know how to start a campaign here because it's too off the wall, because you really I just don't know how to touch the general public. You don't touch the general public here when you're trying to get votes. You're touching groups, and those are the only people who continuously vote in every election. So you got an uphill battle regardless of what position you're running, because the population here that votes, they vote every year, and then there's certainly a lot of people who do not vote.
But every PAC there is, it seems like if the candidate's trying to hit PACs, he's got to he or she, in an effort to cater to that particular PAC, will offend or disappoint the other PAC next to them. So it's all a numbers game. To try and make everyone happy is I think doomed to fail. I would worship the
all you got to
candidate.
do is just start accusing people of stuff, and it will just go with it.
It's already
Just
going down.
Just be the first. That's the most important thing. Is just be the first.
Well, that's why I dug that candidate forum last year with the 2 guys going, hey, I really like this guy. Vote for him or vote for me. We don't care. Just we're both. And they were like, we're both equally trained for this job. I'm not saying that's how every campaign
I'm not
should
really
go.
encouraging that. I was
No,
a joke,
nor
folks.
I. But it was. I'll say
But
it
you
was
can call me a
refreshing.
baby killer. That'd be really interesting if someone came up and called me
dude.
that. I'd be like, whoa.
Oh, you're a baby killer. I'm a racist misogynist.
great.
There's
Here we
everything in
go.
There we go. You left wing nut. You. But
I can't imagine, man. That'd be insanity.
actually, what started this conversation was you'd mentioned the VA earlier. Now, I have a son who's a Marine or did 8 years in the Corps, the National Guard, and come from a military family. So I'm like Mr. Veterans. What was it? You just weren't throwing the VA in there. Is there a reason behind that platform there? Do you think?
Yeah,
that,
this is one of those things. My uncle was in the military, or was in the Marines. My cousin is in the Army. 2 cousins are in the Army. I have a lot of family members that are in the military, and I think it's really important that for people who serve, when they come out, there's a promise, right? And that promise is you can be affected by the GI Bill. You can go to college. You can, and you're going to get health care for the rest of your life. And the interesting thing, right, is everyone attacks socialized medicine. Well, that's what the VA is, right? It's socialized medicine for people who put their life on the lines for the nation. And I think it's a really important thing to do. And thanking people for their service is equally important. When we allow the VA to there are wait times and people get kicked off lists, and there are the horrendous things that we heard about when this whole VA scandal uncovered a few years ago. It is incumbent upon all branches of government to focus on this, because we really do have to focus on this core group of people who, again, put their lives on the line. And that's one of the things that I definitely feel passionate about, because at the end of the day, it's improving government process, and I love doing that. And I can't think of a more noble government process to
Good
improve.
thing you do that for a living.
I know, right?
Right?
He brings that to the table, and he likes our Star Wars coasters. Oh, actually, that was
I couldn't find Star Trek ones, so I had to settle.
I got Star Trek stuff too. I swing both ways when it comes to the Star stuff. But something we were talking about earlier. Har har har. Well, I was alive for both of them. One of my earliest memories is watching original Star Trek. It's an original run.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, I'm old. I get
I
it.
feel you on it.
But earlier I was talking about like the shift, like especially in Montgomery County, you can have a deeply entrenched red or blue state, or more and more purple seems to be popping up here as a result that there are no.
What's purple?
Kind of mix of red and blue.
Okay.
Like Texas is pretty red, pretty conservative, but Houston is traditionally blue.
Well, the 5 major cities are.
Yeah.
Right? So San Antonio, Dallas, Austin, Houston, El Paso.
They tend to have Democrat mayors, but Republican Congress and senators. It's just how it is. So, and Ann Richards, she was, she's firmly blue. So it can go back and forth, especially in the government. But as a candidate, one of the first things, as a guy, not as a candidate, you came in, you remarked on the Star Wars coasters that we have in the studio. And I'm noticing that more. There's another candidate I know, she's running for judge, and I was videotaping her, and she was talking about My Cousin Vinny and Star Wars, and that her favorite movie is Baby Driver because of A, B, and C. And it's like, this is a new whole crop of candidates. That these are candidates.
That's why I made that comment about the older folks. I can kind of tell when people aren't themselves on the social media. It's like really kind of obvious, and I go, they're just not really getting how this tool works, because
there's also it goes towards the genuine factor too. If you had some old guy in who doesn't know Star Trek from Star Wars, who'd be going, yes, I'm a big fan of the Power Rangers, because who you can tell they don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to be cool.
The Voltron.
Oh, okay. No, we'll go see. I grew up in Japan, so I'm like hardcore on the original.
You grew up all over the place.
I did. Military privilege, but it seems to be a whole new crop of candidate out there that they're younger, they're hipper. Let's put it into Star Trek terms. So we had Shatner being the original Kirk, and he was already kind of older, even. But then you get Chris Pine as the new Kirk, who's like 14 years old.
Those movies suck.
Well, but what I'm saying is that he's younger. He is the cowboy diplomat. He is what Kirk was, I think, always supposed to be, which is really, a kid. Seat of your pants. He's like 22 when he takes over the Enterprise. Yeah. Can you imagine any 22-year-old, especially in this generation, taking over the starship?
LeVar Ball and his kids, right?
Yeah, they just shoplift the Enterprise, which is the name of my next band, by the way, Shoplift the Enterprise.
So I think that the important thing that I see when talking with people, and one thing to mention is that this district, Congressional District 8, the median age is 37, right? It's a young district. And I get out there and I talk to people, and I find fewer and fewer people who walk up to me and say, you are going to, especially young people, but fewer and fewer people saying, I'll never vote for you because I'm going to vote straight ticket Republican. They walk up and they say, how do you feel about this and this and this, right? And it's issues. And I think that 2018 is going to be the start of a series of elections that are all based on issues. How do you feel about healthcare? Do you think that my child should be kicked off of health insurance, right? It was really impressive to me, right? When the Affordable Care Act passed, there were quite a few things that it did, but what it did was it said you can't get kicked off your healthcare because of a pre-existing condition, or denied healthcare because of a pre-existing condition. If you're 26 or younger, you get to stay on your parents' healthcare. And then it also said that there are things called essential health benefits that are covered. And if you want to be an insurance company and and have coverage, you have to cover at least these 10 things, right? And it's like vaccines and maternal care and wellness exams and stuff like that. And it took maybe 2 years after all the kicking and screaming on both sides, right? Of how this is horrible, it's a violation of our rights, blah blah blah. It took maybe 2 years, maybe 3, for Americans to view that as a normal standard thing that they now expect. And when this healthcare bill was trying to be pushed through, I heard nothing but essential health benefits, right? And it makes sense. Why shouldn't maternity care be required to be covered if you're going to have an insurance plan? And, the 26 and under thing wasn't because President Obama and the Democrats just felt generous towards 26-year-olds. We're in an economic situation in which people who are 26 years old aren't getting jobs that have health insurance covered. So they have to stay on their parents' insurance. And I think that that's another thing that is really unfortunate is people who are coming out of college who are young aren't getting economic opportunity like my parents got, like my grandparents got. We're coming out saddled with that. I have like $40,000, $47,000 in student debt. And that's not an abnormal thing for Americans. So we're coming out with more student debt than our parents. We're coming out with less economic opportunity, and we're not able to take that really firm step into the middle class by purchasing a home right outside of college. And so I think that it's really important for us to recognize that my parents and grandparents had more opportunity than what I had and what people younger than me are having coming out of college. And it's very, very important that our Congress recognize that that is an issue and that we have to work on it.
Cool. Off the air. Cool. Well,
Cool.
He raised some really interesting points on both sides. Some I can track with, some I'm vehemently opposed to. I'd love to talk with you off the air and kind of get. As I said, I'm the guy that when I go to I always like to early vote, but as late as possible. So I enjoy the benefits of early voting. But in case there are any like October surprises, I'm ready for them. But I'm the guy that like hits all the candidates and the issues. So I'm glad to hear you say this is going to be an issue-driven thing.
I just pretend to care. You know?
Just give me your voter ID card. I'll take care of it for you. Be conscientious. Vote twice.
I've already thrown it away. Apparently, you don't need it, so I just need to have my ID on it.
Well, if your license
and
gets
that's
suspended,
that's
you're
somewhat
screwed.
laminated, and it fits nicely in my wallet. So
there you go.
Convenience is a big issue with me when it comes to this kind of stuff.
There you go.
So far, the local government or whoever's in charge of this is inconveniencing me.
Okay, that's pretty federal right there.
So,
the right to vote is kind of universal.
Susie Harvey, I'm talking to you.
Uh-huh.
You're my elections administrator. Change this stuff. Unacceptable. Calling you out. Can you imagine just calling this phone number and start complaining about this? This car doesn't fit my wallet. She probably didn't give a. Anybody? Nobody? You guys actually like it?
I mean, I think it's always been that way. If you wanted to have a conversation about making, it digital or follow you by like thumbprint,
Well, I just want to, half the stuff I have in my wallet is a certain dimension.
So you're less concerned about the fact that it's paper and more concerned about the fact that it fit inside your wallet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to fold it.
But folding it will deteriorate over time.
Nah, you're fine.
Because you get it like every
you
2
fold
years.
It's gonna
You
keep
get it every 2
rubbing.
years.
It's gonna rub.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you wash your wallet and stuff.
No, if it's folded, you put folded pieces of paper in your wallet. Somehow, like they always come out worse than they were when they put them in.
Well, it's going to come out worse, but it's not going to come out damaged irreparably.
But then again, we don't even need it.
Yeah, I mean that's fair too.
So, just throw it away,
Susie,
folks.
we're calling. No,
Just throw it away.
There we go. We actually had a listener go to our Facebook page.
Yeah,
and write us a
MW Lone
question.
Star.
Yeah, this is cool. So we'll just go first.
She
name.
probably didn't like our conversation, and that's why they asked questions.
We're going off to
Yeah.
I did that on purpose. We started talking about Star Trek and Star Wars to get the heavy answer.
We probably need to take a break. We've been on for 20 minutes.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been fun.
How about we ask the question, then we answer, we come
Well,
back.
yeah, we'll
Boom,
get to-
teaser.
So Carolyn asks, wants to know about the campaign organization, your team, and fundraising efforts. So chew those over.
We'll throw them under the bus when we come back
There you
here
go.
on Mornings with Lone Star. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to take a quick sponsored break here, so stay tuned. We got more Steven on the way.
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
Welcome back to Mornings with Lone Star here at irlonestar.com. It's 1038, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. ElectStephenDavid.com. We have him in the studio.
With a V. Stephen with a V.
With a V.
That
With
needs
a
to be your
V. That's
tagline going, I'm
important, isn't
Stephen.
it?
Stephen
With a V. And
That's important.
Actually, it is there is something very interesting about me. So my middle name is Randolph, and it's Germanic, and it actually
is it
translates.
Randolph with a V?
No, it's Randolph with a PH, and it translates into Wolf Shield.
Wolf Shield.
My middle name is literally translated to Wolf Shield.
That is so awesome.
So you're saying the word Randolph translates into Wolf Shield?
Yeah.
So every Randolph?
Yeah,
So Rudolph, I wonder what that would like. Rudolph, is that like
I don't know.
Giraffe
I've never
Shield, the
looked that
red-nosed
up.
reindeer? Yeah, we got to figure that one out.
So you can just call me Stephen Wolf Shield David.
Oh man, I am. Yeah, I vote just on the name. I have a friend, a couple of friends named. The one is the Steelhammer,
Oh yeah.
and she was in a play with a guy whose last name is Stone Cipher. And it's like, yeah, Steelhammer and Stone Cipher. It
Hey,
sounds like an '80s buddy
hey.
cop movie.
Someone asked a question through Facebook. Can we ask that question
Get back to the
again?
question. Okay,
'Cause
so
we have a guest here.
yeah, and he's a cool guest.
He's
He
on a
knows Star
short
Wars.
time.
He's on a short time. He's got to get back to the efficiency stuff and where he's working. Okay, so Stephen, one of our listeners, see, Dick, I told you we had a listener out there, wants to know about your organization, your team, and any fundraising efforts coming up.
So the organization, right, is the organization is me. I've got some interns. I've got a few volunteers, and right now it's focusing on fundraising, which I think is the crux of or the thrust of Carolyn's question. Fundraising's hard. You know, it's one of those things that I think I haven't met a candidate yet.
Isn't that a
says,
saying, though?
I love fundraising. People don't say that.
Well, it's like a saying that the best candidate is the person who can raise the most money. Like, that's how you get elected, basically. If you're really good at raising money, that party's going to like you.
Well, to raise money, I think, is an indicator of your leadership abilities. If you can inspire people to open up their wallets and you can
Right.
inspire them into battle, kind of thing.
Right.
But I don't
So
think
what, you
if
can
I
scheme people? So you're the best schemer?
if you want to go that route, have some more Conroe coffee, Dick, and
Steve, I don't want to say it. I was oopsies.
but you see what I'm talking about. If you
I'm
can
just
inspire
kidding.
more and more people to do it, so it's
So
not necessarily.
you should just go in, Steven, and just say, like, just give me your money. And then,
Yeah, you could do that. I don't know if I would.
what's your fundraising plan? What do you do?
So I mean, it's making phone calls. I mean, to say that Democrats aren't the base would be a lie. I'm calling a bunch of Democrats in the district as well as in the area. I have a lot of political connections inside Houston, so it's calling them as well and asking them to commit to the campaign. You can make those donations on electstephendavid.com if you really like what I stand for. But
That button needs to be a lot bigger, man.
the contribute
The
button.
yeah, we're going to
donate
revamp your
button.
website
Yeah.
for you
all
before
right.
you're gone.
All right. Take some tips.
Yeah.
And it's, it is one of the most difficult things of campaigning for anybody, right? And one of the things that I've found, especially in this like larger region, is that there are a couple of very, very competitive Democratic races in the region. And so there are 4 or 5 Democrats in each race, and they're all fundraising against each other, and they're all calling the same people that I call. And, everyone's saying, oh, I'm going to give to you to this race. Well, Stephen, you don't have a Democratic opponent. Oh, you don't have someone running against you. So we'll give to you a little bit later. And I'm getting a lot of that, but that's just the difficulty of fundraising. I mean, that's a normal thing for campaigns. And to say that it isn't a steep learning curve would be a lie. But I think that's a good question to Carolyn. I actually shout out to Carolyn. Hey, thanks for listening. I've met her a couple of times before, and she's a very passionate denizen of
Is she going to be the
Texas.
kind that she's going to stop listening to us when you're off the air? Because Carolyn, don't leave us yet. We got a good show on the other
We
days
have
of the week
so many
too.
important things to say every day.
Yeah, we do. We're nitty
It's
gritty.
inconceivable not to listen to us.
Yeah, because we'll make you laugh. We'll make you think.
But we'll never make you bored. That's a horrible tagline.
Well, you
He's quiet and he's like, what the hell?
I'm just trying to process it. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot. We don't have a donate button though, so
donate to Dick and Skippy's new
for a better
tagline defense.
tagline. Well, I want to wish you luck on this because we're gonna have to be wrapping this up in 10 minutes or so. And one thing I want to leave you with have an opportunity with is if people are listening right now, and I know you can't be like the savior or like the answer, you can't have all the answers and stuff like that. And you've already put on that the issues are the big thing for the next election. For Montgomery County, what are the issues that are going to be pressing here?
The issues that I've heard from people who live in Montgomery County are, first off, health care, and second off, tax reform. I think that people are very, very afraid. I have sensed nothing but fear about this tax reform bill or this tax scam. I already went off my branding. Damn it. But the tax bill that's being put forward, there's a lot of what ifs, and there's a whole lot of unanswered questions. They're still talking about it in the Senate and the House. But one thing that we found is that because the Senate bill was pushed forward so quickly and there were so many handwritten notes, there's effectively a $248 million just like overage. Like, they didn't account for it. Right. And that's kind of the issue that I see generally. And I think people feel generally right now with Congress is that there's a whole bunch of seat of your pants stuff going on. And so to answer your question in a very roundabout way, the issues that I hear are healthcare and taxes, the tax reform bill that's coming through.
Well, that's a good answer, I guess.
You got a better one there, Dick Schissler?
No, not at all. Give me your money.
Yeah, we're going to run your campaign. We got you covered here. Give us your money.
Well, I encourage everyone to check you out on Elect Stephen with the V, David.com. And you're going to see Star Wars this week. So
Oh my God, I can't wait.
I'm not going to. I'm
gonna
I'm
spoil it for
boycotting
you,
it.
man.
I hated it. I don't care. Spoil it for me all you want. I don't care.
On the air.
I don't care.
And I'm going to blame you.
I don't care. Bring it.
Bring it.
You can't hate it. You said you hate it?
And I'll let the anger flow through me, and I'm just letting it happen, letting it manifest. It's going to be... I really did not like A Force Awakens. I thought it was really cheaply done. And it pulled at the heartstrings of like, oh, these guys like Star Wars. Let's just throw the same Star Wars stuff at them. Didn't change anything. I mean, boring.
You've at least got to see it.
You think you know someone. Actually, when I found out that my current wife was neither a Star Wars nor Star Trek fan, it's like, you think you know someone.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'd known this woman off and on for 30 years before we finally got married. And then she outs herself to me. I'm not a Star Wars fan. Well, what about Star Trek? Oh, no, not so much. And I'm stuck with this one. We
I'm a
promised no more
Kardashian
divorces.
fan. Is she
Oh my God. Okay, that would break the no.
Really?
Divorce.
You would dislike somebody because they like something else? That's not
Yeah.
very nice of you.
I'm a mean old man. I yell at kids to get off my lawn.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's true.
Don't walk on the lawn. And don't
Keep
let your
off the
dog
grass.
And don't
Yeah.
let your dog poop on my lawn either.
Well, that's just crazy. No, I'm the guy with the little pooper bag, so I can go after the pooping jogger. You missed
The mad
our-
pooper?
the mad
The
pooper.
mad pooper. You gotta get it right when you're gonna say
We
something like
actually
that.
there's actually a story we came up with we found about this woman who was pooping as she jogged.
Really?
We kid you not.
That's a thing?
That's apparently, where was that, in like Nebraska or something? It wasn't
That
Texas.
was in Colorado.
Colorado.
You gotta know where these mad poopers
Well,
live.
that explains a lot right there. You legalize
Yeah.
marijuana, and all of a sudden they're pooping in your yard.
You really like to connect things, don't you? That
Yeah,
have
well,
nothing to do with
like-
each other.
Cannibalism.
I guess if you're really into your run and you just don't have time to stop.
Oh no, it came out like she had some psychological issues, and it was bizarre because like she did it in front of people and stuff. It was Look it up. It's kind of funny, but I feel bad for that person too at the same time. But can you imagine just waking up, getting that morning paper, and you're sipping your coffee, and there's a nice little lady running around. Oh, hey, what's she doing? Oh, okay.
Sounds like a deleted scene from American Beauty. Oh, by the way, I got the room for you. I'll send it to you today.
Okay, good.
So you can watch it tonight.
Got to check that out.
Yeah, well, and then go watch The Disaster Artist. I'm telling you, you got to watch it.
So are you seeing Star Wars in Houston, or like do you have tickets and all that?
No, we're
stuff?
seeing it at I don't know what the new name of it is, but it's Santico Silverado, the one off 249.
Yeah,
Regal Theater.
Yeah.
So we're seeing it at Regal.
Oh, okay.
I saw episode 1 there. The re-release. It was great. I drank a bunch of beer.
Yeah, they got a bar in there. I think that's a cool new thing.
Let me tell you the best spot in that
theater.
place. The best spot is if you're sitting looking at the theater seats. The back left aisle right there is perfect because you can get out up the second floor. There's a bathroom right there. And
Really?
There's a bar right there.
Really?
So when I was watching episode 1, I was like, all right, I got 2 minutes. Boop, 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 boop. Came back.
You just changed my life.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the best seat in that place. And I don't know about the IMAX, though. It actually might have been the IMAX. I don't know. But yeah, there's a bathroom. No one really knows about the second floor. So
Yeah, I didn't know about it.
yeah, there's a second
going
floor
there
to
for
that
years.
place. So you got to know where the bathroom and the bar is, man. It's like that's my go-to Jason Bourne specialty when I go into a room.
Well, my
there's
last
the bathroom. There's the bar.
I haven't been to a cinema for years, and I've been twice recently. And one was at the Market Street,
Yeah.
which, oh my gosh, it was like every seat. You only had like 50 seats in the whole thing, but they were like the leather.
Oh, yeah,
kick
with the
back.
recliner and stuff.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
That's
And-
living life.
And then up in Conroe, I went to was it the Studio Grill movie
Studio
grill?
Movie Girl, yeah.
Yeah, and that one, the wife had a Rita beforehand.
Oh, yeah, and they serve you during it, and you press the little button to light up the thing.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah,
those
it's-
places. There's
Really?
too many distractions. Like there's lights
Oh,
and
yeah,
people
yeah,
are
I can see
walking.
No, it's
You can't watch 3D movies in there because all the lights like do the star effect.
Oh, you got a point there. Well, I have a
So-
3D TV at home, so
Oh, cool.
yeah, come
You
on
have
over.
a 3D TV
I
at
have
home?
a 3D TV at home. Yeah.
Are they like powered glasses?
Yeah, you got to
that's-
put in the little watch batteries in them.
Wow.
But yeah, it's cool.
How is it?
It depends on the movie. The Walk, the movie about the guy who walked between the a tightrope walk.
Yeah, the
between
Robert Zemeckis.
that was great.
Or Zemeckis.
But I swear to God, there was they remastered Top Gun into 3D, and it's the worst.
I bet it is.
It looks like they have like 3 glass plates that it's projected on, and just watching these flat airplanes trying to blow each other up.
We know you got that movie for the volleyball scene. Like, be real.
Everybody gets that movie for the volleyball. I told you about
Be
the time
real.
I got out of a ticket because I was like, cop pulled me over doing 90, and he rolls down the window, and I was like totally nailed. And he's like, any reason why you're going so fast? I said, officer's not an excuse, but I was jamming to the danger zone on my cassette deck. And yeah, I just got lost in the moment. He's like, turn it on. And way. He let me off. He's like, okay, try to keep it down. You can't not speed listening to that song.
Right.
Now, Me and the Boys, yeah, you can not speed to Me and the Boys from the volleyball scene, but Danger Zone, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
put the pedal to the metal.
Well, you're on a highway, and you're on a highway to the danger zone.
Right, I was
Yeah.
almost on the highway
Makes
to hell at
perfect
that
sense to
point.
me.
Probably won't work for me.
Why is there a stairway to heaven but a highway to hell? I always wondered about that.
I don't know, man.
Look it up, Mr. Google.
Is this like why do cars have shipments and ships have cargoes?
Yeah, why
that
do
kind
you
of question.
drive on a parkway and park in a driveway?
I imagine it's like that because of all the changes you have to make to paperwork.
That's fair.
Is that what that is?
I imagine.
I mean, it also could just be purposely confusing.
Right. Or just someone said it wrong, and like the butterfly was actually the flutterby until somebody got it backwards. And Cinderella's glass slipper was originally fur, but somebody mistranslated it from the French.
Is that real?
Yep. It was the vir slipper,
yeah,
VIR.
we're totally full of truth here.
Yeah,
So,
no, it was the original Cinderella was the VIR, vir slipper, fur, and somebody translated it into French, thought he heard ver, VERRE, which is glass, and there you go.
I heard they had the same issue with the Bible.
Yeah, the Sea of Reeds instead of the Red Sea, and thou shalt not suffer a poisoner to live instead of a witch.
How about that?
Yeah, sorry, theologian here. Moving.
What aren't you?
Tall.
That's very true.
I'm tall for a
Very
hobbit,
true.
but
Part of that club.
Right,
All
we're
right,
we're
Let's
concentrated
wrap
awesome.
this up. We're just shooting the breeze here, guys. So
Yeah,
let's
we're killing time
last
and-
closing comments. Elect Stephen with the V, David.com. You actually did fulfill a lot of promise here. I was really excited about having you on the air. And thank you for being an upstanding guy so far. And I encourage everyone to check you out online. Even if you're a Republican, check it out. I think it's important that you ask those good questions, or basically that kind of thing. You know, if you've been running in office for so long, I can't see that. One thing that kind of gets me is I wish more people who were elected officials who quit and they talk more outspoken about, like, you can't be doing this for the rest of your life, folks. And some people are. It's kind of scary to knowing how long people have been working in Washington.
And that leads to the whole new topic of, term limits, the pros and cons, because there's great arguments on both sides.
Well, I like sunset rules, and I like the idea of having term limits. Right?
Let's bring that up tomorrow. Let's talk term limits tomorrow.
And sunset rules?
Sure.
I like those.
You like those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know what I'm going to be like in 30 years.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, what am I going to be like?
As nerdy as ever.
Yeah, it's
the
true.
same adorably puppy dog.
I can bet I still hate Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Oh, your nerdiness will be like a fine wine.
Do you hate America?
Well, how does that have to do with America?
It's because it's American.
How is that American?
It's American. It's Mom, Apple Pie, and Luke Skywalker.
Well, Luke Skywalker wasn't really in A Force Awakens. I was kind of like disappointed with that because I wanted him to be in the movie.
Which is even more reason why you should see the new one.
Hey, when the going gets tough, the Jedi get into hiding.
That's horrible. No, no one can answer me why Rey can do all this cool stuff. I never got a straight answer for that.
Well, I think we're going to find out in this episode coming up.
Yeah, that's why there's.
Do you think they're just going to repeat everything?
I think that they're probably going to try and follow the same arc. Well, you're pulling the nerd out in me.
I know, like
the Death Star.
That's what my well, they already did the Death Star again in Force Awakens.
Oh, so yeah, no, Star Killer base, but I get you. I get you.
I mean,
I get you. I smell what the dick is
well,
cooking.
really, what it did when I saw that movie, it made me understand why I don't like J.J. Abrams, because he goes halfway to what could be the potential with all his like stuff. Like Super 8's probably his best work because it was original.
That was Abrams, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Spielberg
helped
produced
him with
it.
Yeah, but like that movie was entertaining because it was at least original in a sense, like the storyline was. But
what, a found footage
Star
movie?
Trek,
Yeah, never been done before.
Star Trek, no dice there.
You don't think so, huh?
No, that movie sucked.
I think it was good in bridging the gap between diehards like me who remember the original. Because we hear, well, yeah, we're going to start back at the Academy days. It's like, well, we all know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so the whole alternate timeline, and it was pretty nicely done. I'm not a fan. I'll take you on that one.
No.
Okay, so we're going to talk term limits and sunset laws tomorrow.
Do we have to?
You brought it up.
Okay.
You did bring it up.
What do you feel about that kind of stuff? Because we got 30 seconds.
I think it's an important conversation to talk about because you have to weigh the balance between experience and stagnant ideas. And experience is very important. Experience in how to do laws, experience in how to negotiate with foreign powers. I know one of the things that you talked about was national security early on off the air. And that experience comes with how to handle that. Or with experience comes good ways to handle national security. But at the same time, at some point, people's ideas get stagnant. And I think that new and fresh ideas are important. And that's one of the reasons why I'm running for office, is because I think that we have to make sure that people are always adapting to the new reality. And the new reality is that there are younger people who don't want to see $1.5 trillion in debt taken out that we have to deal with in 20, 30 years whenever the bill comes due. And you know, one of the things, and this will be the thing that I'll stop talking on. You know, this tax reform bill that's coming up, they're increasing the deficit by $1.5 trillion, and to pay for it, they're already talking about cutting Medicaid and Medicare.
We just need to do Bitcoin.
Yeah, right.
Well,
if I bought one, what was the original price?
10 cents, I think.
10 cents, a penny, something like that? Just one.
Yeah. Check that out.
Right?
Well, I appreciate y'all's time.
Hey,
thank you.
Steve,
That was a good
you
answer,
made
by
it
the
in
way. We
studio.
don't want to take that away. But you know what that also means is that's why Rogue One was better than A Force Awakens, because they got a younger person.
Rogue One was good and different. Better
than Force Awakens. Basically, we need to take JJ out of the equation, and we need to take Zack Snyder out of the equation. Don't ever let them touch those things, those IPs again.
Wait, was Snyder involved?
No, Snyder did
don't
Justice
scare me.
League
I
and
know.
Superman.
I don't like
just take them out.
Yeah, he's too dark
Take him
for me.
out. You're listening to Mornings Lone Star. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 9-ish.
Let's do it on the dot.
We'll do our best. We want to say a special thanks before we leave today to, of course, our special guest, Stephen David, Check them out at StephenDavid.com. That's VEN, so Stephen with a V.
like StephenDavid.com.
What did I say?
StephenDavid.com.
Oh, shoot. Just look up Stephen David. You find it. All right. Live read for our sponsors. That's what it tells me right now. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. CleanSweepOfficeCleaning.com. Conroe Coffee. They make the coffee that Conroe loves to drink. Visit ConroeCoffee.com. If you're just now joining us, we've got a full lineup, IRLoneStar.com. And don't forget, we do podcasts and YouTube, all this stuff we do on Mornings with Lone Star. So if you missed Steven, you'll hear him again. Don't worry. Just follow us on Facebook for the announcement when we release the podcast, or subscribe. Do what you got to do. All right. And, yeah. All right. Tomorrow, we're coming for you, Susie. We're coming for you.
Yeah, there are questions to be answered.
Oh, man, my music ended, so that's a horrible way to go out. All right, we're out of here. Mornings with Lone Star. We'll see y'all later.
Sitting there giving me looks that make my mouth water.
Thank you for checking out this production of Lone Star Community Radio. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station. Don't forget to check out this show and many others across the Lone Star Community Radio Network, either live on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, the Lone Star Internet Radio app, or IRLoneStar.com's live audio stream, and on replay on podcast, Channel 12's Our City TV in Conroe, or Channel 21 KVQT in Houston, and of course their YouTube channel. This production is copyrighted and all rights are reserved by Lone Star Community Radio. Have a question regarding this program or other Lone Star Community Radio shows? Want to sponsor or start your own show? Call the station message line at 936-647-3776 or email the station at lscrstudios@gmail.com.